Good day, everybody. I'm excited about this because I actually grew up eating something similar to this, but I know this is going to be much more fancy because of the list of all the different spices. Deepa, why did you pick this particular recipe?
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. I picked this because I think it's easy and it's very nutritious, and then you can make it vegan as well as vegetarian, and it doesn't require much oil either.
I don't think it's easy. There's like 15 different spices here.
Yeah, but you just put it at one time. You don't have to
so it's not like the other ones we've done with you where you like put a little and then a little and a little and you put it all together.
Somewhat like that, but okay. Not very complicated. So yeah.
So I'll put it in the chat, the list of I think I will. Let's see, here it is. The list of ingredients. And then we can talk about all the different spices because it's a whole bunch of different spices.
Sure.
What I like about this is it's a lot of spices, but it's not spicy.
No.
Right? I mean, there's a little curry.
That's the thing that confuses people sometimes that are not used to, Asian cooking. When they hear spices, they think of hot when it's not true.
Because I mean, we've got star anise, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves. In American cooking, that right there is sweet. You put that in a sweet.
Yeah, recipe. Yeah. The Americans don't do savory very well.
And so, but we also have what else? Oh yeah, I said cloves, right? And then curry powder. Now, I did fail to get cilantro.
Okay.
Can I use cardamom?
Okay.
Or will that really ruin it?
Rather not use anything.
Okay.
For substitute, you can use parsley a little bit, but not a cardamom instead of cilantro. Yeah.
So we're making Chana Masala, and I looked it up, and it says Chana means chickpeas or garbanzo beans, and Masala means like
Spice.
Mix of spices, right?
Yeah.
In Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, boss me around. Let's get cooking for a little bit.
Okay, let's start with our chickpeas. If you have chickpeas, I also ask you to soak it, so it will be easier to be cooked. So this was like my 2 cups.
I soaked it in the can. It soaked really well.
Okay, great.
Great. I actually cook chickpeas pretty frequently, and I'm out. And the 2 places I went to didn't have it, so I didn't have time today. And I was like, I got a bunch of cans.
I have a question, Deepa.
Sure.
So since Or has a canned chickpeas, does that mean that his cooking time will be less because it's already cooked compared to yours? That's the dried, rehydrated one? Okay.
Yeah, it will be. But the thing is, like, we have to prepare a masala for that. So it might be similar, I would say. Because
now I did pre-cook the potatoes, so these are not soft cooked. They're still hard, so they're
kind of sort of like blanching a little bit.
Right. They're actually, you can eat them, but they're not like soft cooked. Now, you had said you needed cashews, and I wasn't sure how many. I only have like a half a cup. Now, I actually love snacking on cashews, and I actually put a little cardamom powder in my cashews when I like snacking on them.
So I have a pressure cooker.
So that's going to help a lot with the chickpeas.
Yeah. So I'm using I think this is like 2 cups. And when it's soaked, it's more like 3.5 or 4 cups.
All right, let me quickly cook mine. Here's my cooker right here. Let me.
You might want to cook it because you have already cooked it. So maybe in a pot, something
Yeah,
like.
so I've got 2 pots. I've got 1 pot to put the beans in and 1 pot to fry stuff. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're gonna put some, Deepa, are you gonna, what kind of liquid are you gonna put in there with your, oh, here she comes.
Oh, I'll put some water in it.
Okay, all right. So if you weren't doing vegan, could you use some chicken broth?
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, the thing about this
Yeah,
is
sure.
you don't really need, I don't think, any other flavors because we'll have so much flavors in the spices. You don't need.
That's true.
And
Like
I
in the
want
broth.
the chickpeas to be covered in water. Now I'll put
Okay.
the spices in this.
Now I grew up, we ate a lot of beans. We grew up vegetarian. We ate a lot of beans. And I always found out that cooking the beans from scratch, I don't know, slow cooking them for 3 or 4 hours, especially in mom's sun oven, they always came out so much better than anything you possibly could get out of a can.
Okay.
So Deepa, as far as the chickpeas go, mine are canned as well. Are we using the liquids or should we strain that off and start with fresh water?
I would strain it and put a fresh water in it.
I never waste the liquid in there unless it's really salty.
Yeah, quite often it is salty, unfortunately.
Let me read what it says on here.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like the taste of the liquid. So I
Yeah, it
always
says this
strain
can has 14% salt on it. So if you drain the water out, you're definitely gonna get less
Yeah,
salt.
I always rinse any kind of beans I use from a can. It doesn't remove all the salt, but it removes quite a bit of it.
My potato is uncooked, so I'm just putting it, like cutting in pieces and just putting in the chickpea.
Now, will that seems to me that it would overcook the potato if you put it in there.
Yeah, it just to thicken the stuff.
So the potatoes are gonna like she
Mash.
said, they're gonna thicken it because they're gonna get mushy.
Yeah, it's gonna get mashed later on, or let's say it's gonna get mushy. I mean, you don't have to have like a whole potato in your chickpea masala.
All right, so I should cut. You guys get to see the fact that I didn't quite clean off my stove there.
This is like my big cardamom. Can you guys see? So I'm
So
putting
that's
1
Yeah, pod.
pod
Okay,
and
so
half cinnamon stick.
do I have a big pod of cardamom? I think all I have is the cardamom seeds.
Have you ever had cardamom in coffee?
Oh, that's really good.
I use like 3 this cloves and 1 star anise.
So the potatoes is actually to thicken it.
This is like 1 star anise and 3 to 4 cardamom. And if you have bay leaves, you can put bay leaves.
Hey, wait a second. You're just adding stuff to the recipe. That wasn't on the recipe.
Bay leaves, if you have it, it doesn't like matter.
I'm just teasing you. All right, so bay leaves. All right, let's see. You had said cardamom, star anise.
Mhm.
Just
I don't-
1 cardamom pod.
I don't
and
have
1
any
star.
of these are broke up. None of them are full.
Only
Oh,
1
here's a-
though. Don't drop.
Here's a
them.
full
Yeah,
star.
just one.
Just 1.
Well, yeah, the rest of these are broke, so I was. All right.
1 big black cardamom pod. Just 1. And small cardamom, you can put like 3.
Yeah, so all I have is the seeds, the small seeds. So
Then,
I'll just
okay.
put a little
uh,
bit.
you can
'Cause it's
put
really strong.
maybe 10 to 15 seeds, not more than that.
Yeah, so okay, that's
And I'm putting
no,
salt.
even a quarter teaspoon. Yeah, there you go, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Because that stuff is really strong. Oh, it smells
And
so good.
just a little bit oil, like less than a teaspoon. And I'm pressure cooking it. So I'm putting on lid for this.
All right.
Yeah, you'll probably both be finished at the same time, even though you're pressure cooking. Good.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna have to cook this stuff down on the stove.
Well, let's see. I feel like I missed a spice.
Did you?
I put star anise and I
Okay.
put cardamom.
Mhm.
That was it.
Cloves,
Okay, cloves.
cinnamon stick.
Yep, I didn't put cloves or cinnamon stick.
Yeah, that's the one. And if you have bay leaves, you can put bay leaves.
Right?
Cumin. Or is that going in some other part of the dish?
Yeah, that's going. All right. So that's interesting. Like all the stuff in there is stuff we consider what do you call it? For sweet dishes.
Yeah.
You've got cinnamon, you've got clove, you've got star anise. Those are all things that in the US we generally
Eating
consider.
another pot, as you can see. Okay, let me show you.
All right. I've got my pot for frying. Now
Yeah,
you
frying
did
the other masalas and everything. So this.
But your dish is gonna wind up in the big pot, right?
Yeah.
all right. And I could be making a pot of rice in also.
Oh yeah, you should be. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that you can like make a pot of rice.
I'm gonna make, because I'm making a lot. But we need to cut up garlic and onion for this part, right?
Yeah, we need the cashews. If you have soaked it, it's fine. If you haven't, then just put cashews and a little bit of water in it. And I put like 2.5 cloves, like 3 cloves of garlic, and around ginger, like 2.5 inch of ginger. Cashews, garlic, ginger.
You're gonna process it.
Yeah, and you need cumin seeds.
Aha, that's where the cumin seeds go. Yum. Hello, Maureen.
Hello.
All right, I apologize. I only got about 5 more minutes before I have to go to another meeting. But I'm gonna continue to cook along, but you won't be able to watch me,
Okay.
which
Oh,
is actually an
cumin
advantage
seeds.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And chili, if you like. I'm putting just 2
Yeah, that's
dried
optional.
chilies. Yeah, it's
Optional for
optional.
people that don't like hot.
Yeah, I'm just putting 2 dried chilies.
So can you repeat how much cashews are in that?
It was 1/4 cup.
And then how many cloves of garlic?
3. And and 1/4 cup of water.
So it's gonna make like a slurry.
Yeah, paste.
Yeah, like a paste. Yum.
Okay, and how many, you said something about what kind of seed?
Cumin,
Cumin
And-
seed.
How much?
cumin seeds.
1 tablespoon.
Lots and lots of spices.
I'll just mute for a second before I like the sound.
Yeah, you need to put them in a grinder or food processor, not a grinder, food processor or small one, like a bullet. Do you have one of those bullet ones, small one?
Yeah, I've got a little food processor and I've got a little blender too.
The food processor will probably be better than the blender for,
Except I'm making a lot. Well. Oh yeah, this food processor can do a couple cups.
that's the one, that's the kind I have, is like 3 cups or something. Remember, you gotta add water to it also.
Yeah, so I got the water with the cashews.
You
And
got
I'm
your
gonna
garlic and ginger?
Yep, and so that'll be a really nice creamy sauce.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
putting
be,
like 1 tablespoon of oil in a pot.
oh, there it is. It's like peanut butter. It's really a thick paste. Nice.
So if you think like and add like 1
What's that?
4
Oh,
teaspoon
that's
of
more cumin, but
yeah,
you're gonna cook those in the oil.
just fry them.
Yeah, and they'll release the flavor.
Yeah, just fry them.
Yeah, that's common in Indian cooking.
So I have
Yeah.
a question. I was started my chickpeas, which are already cooked. I'm cooking them now with those spices, or do I wait and put this all together?
Well, there were some spices that went in. There were some spices, the anise and a few other spices did go in there with the potatoes and the chickpeas, but then there's another group of spices that went into this paste.
Okay, but my question is, Deepa.
Yeah,
should
you
I-
have to. Yeah, you already have like cooked chickpeas. So what you do is you put it in another pot and just boil it. Just let it boil with spices.
Okay,
So that it absorbs that flavor in it.
and now in another big pot, I'm cooking the spices we just blended.
Yes.
Yeah,
With
What's-
oil. Yeah.
What's in there now, though?
there's some
It's
cumin
cumin
seed in
seed.
the oil. You're frying some cumin seed.
Oh, they didn't go in the paste?
They did, but
They did, and
there's,
you're, like, frying them.
they're different because the fried ones will have a different, release a different flavor than the ones in the paste.
Yes.
So the cumin seeds in both.
And this is black pepper, grounded black pepper. I'm putting 1/8 teaspoon. And I'll be frying turmeric.
This is the curry powder.
This is turmeric.
Oh, this is just turmeric. It's not curry
Yeah.
powder.
This is not. This is just
Okay.
turmeric.
All right.
And and a curry powder.
Okay, so
Just this much.
curry. So like a tablespoon of turmeric and a tablespoon of curry powder.
Yes.
This is common in Indian cooking to fry your spices.
Yeah.
It releases
As well, or
it
just
gets very aromatic. You can smell them coming out of the flavor coming out.
Now I'll add the paste in it,
curry leaves as well, or just the powder?
just a powder. I'll just add a little bit of water in. It's like very thick paste, so I just added water.
Just to rinse it out. There you go. Yeah.
And in the same blender, I don't have like big tomatoes, so I'm just blending small tomatoes. If you have like big tomatoes, you can use 2 big tomatoes, or else if you have medium size, then just use 4 of them. And we need to blend that too.
Could you use crushed canned tomatoes if you had nothing else?
Yeah, you can use that. But you need to blend it, like make it a puree kind of.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I would say it's like 1.5 cup.
Did you put all the blended stuff in that pot already?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cashews and everything.
Also, 1 tablespoon of turmeric and 1 tablespoon of curry powder. In addition to what was in the paste.
Okay. This is my pureed tomato. So I'll add this puree. And put this.
You're stirring it so it won't burn.
Yes. And at this point, you can add salt. Because we already added salt in our chickpeas, so I'm going to add just a little bit of salt in this one. It's a whole lot of stirring. If anybody has any questions, they can
Everybody looks like they're busy cooking.
ask. So Fred, do you know about Chana Masala? Have you cooked it before?
No, but I have a giant Indian cookbook and I'm always looking for things to cook from it. It's kind of by the different regions in India for cooking. So,
Deepa,
Yes.
what's the difference between Chana Masala and Chana Bhatura?
A little bit different, I would say. They're like they make it differently in the different parts of India. This Chana Masala is most like the Nepali version of Chana Masala. The spices they put, it's a similar kind of spices, but the amount would be different. And the way
Okay,
they put garam masala would be different.
okay, thanks.
Yeah, otherwise it's similar. The cooking process is almost similar, but the amount would be different.
I don't think I usually taste the cashew paste in it though, because it's not as creamy.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be one. And I use like a larger pot because this might, like bubble up and then it might go around the tomatoes, paste and everything. So if it's the longer one, it's better.
yeah. And how do you spell the China? I know masala, but what's the first word?
Chana, Chana.
Yeah, I believe there's two N's, Channa.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I missed something. What's in the pot now? The cooked paste and
Yes. Tomato paste
and the tomato
and a little bit of salt.
and pepper and all the spices in the paste. Where does the onion go?
At the end.
Okay.
Usually people also make paste of onion, but I like to use it at the end. Now it's thickening up, but we need to make it like really thick. I think my chana is done, so I'm just switching off my gas. Till that is happening, I will cut my onion. I'm using like a half onion, and if you have the purple onion, it's fine. If you have like a white or yellow, any onion is fine. Okay. Let's take it now. I'm reducing the heat to medium so my spices doesn't get burned. How's your spices coming up?
So mine has quite a bit of liquid in it because of the pan being so big, you know.
Okay, it's fine.
And how long do I cook the chickpeas for? I mean, they're the canned ones, but they're cooking away with the
Spices.
yeah.
You might want to lower it down like very low and then just let it simmer for 5 or 10 minutes just to so that it doesn't overcook, but they just soak up those spices.
Will I be using the water from that?
Okay. If you want to, it's fine. I mean, for me, I don't like it. That's why I don't use it, but it's completely
No, I mean the
fine.
water that I've been cooking it in with the spices, or do I drain that off and take the
No,
spices
you'll
out?
be using that. You'll be using that.
Yeah, no, I rinsed them from the can. And then what am I doing with this onion?
Did you cut it down? Okay, we'll keep it for a few minutes and then after that we'll be adding it.
Okay.
The spices,
They're really wet. Is that okay? Because the tomato's in there now, right?
yeah, it will take, I mean, you can increase the heat and then just stir it. It will come something like this in some time, like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it gets reduced and it thickens by stirring it.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to stir it and then reduce it like thin dough kind of consistency.
Yeah, it's quite thick.
Yeah. And you should see the oil coming on side of your spices. And then you know, like, okay, it's almost done. As you can see, the oil is coming on the sides over here. It should be something like this consistency.
I got a ways to go.
It's quite thick, so if it's too runny, you just want to kind of reduce it
Okay.
by, you know, the liquid. Yeah, it's almost like a paste.
Yeah. And I'm cooking it a little bit more longer. I just want to be more like a dough kind of consistency. It's getting thicker. Now it's more like cake batter kind of consistency. At this point, we can, now let's see how it's like,
Yeah, it's really thick.
yeah, it's like a lump kind of thing.
It's almost like dough. It's almost like dough.
Yeah, almost like that. So at this moment, we know like it's okay. I mean, it's done. So I'll add my onion to it. Now what I do is I just transfer this chickpeas. And I just mash those potatoes I had.
Can you repeat what you just did?
Oh, I had the chickpeas and everything. I just put it in this my spices pot,
including all the liquid.
including all the liquid. Because we have cashew paste in it, so it will thicken it up. So I'm just adding like a little bit more liquid to this, around 2 cups of water. Now we will be cutting our cilantro.
So Deepa, let me show you what my paste looks like. And tell me
Yeah,
if it's thick enough.
Yeah, that is thick enough. Yeah.
Okay, and now I add the chickpeas to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now do I push out all the spices?
Yeah, with everything.
Oh, leave the spices in, like the
Yeah.
cinnamon stick and all that?
Yeah, everything. Just dump it in, all of it. So we need to cook this for 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. And then it will be done. And then we just put cilantro on top of it. And we eat this with rice or quinoa or brown rice, everything.
Did I miss potato going in?
Oh, you haven't put the potato? You can add potato in this.
Do I-
Mash the potato and then add it.
Okay.
It will take a little bit. I'm just trying to show how it will look. And I like to garnish with this. And done. A little.
Could you put rice in the bottom of the bowl and put that on top?
Okay, I can do that.
I mean,
Yeah,
is that,
yeah, that's how we do it.
okay?
Like I'm just showing.
Matt, what did the onions, when did the onions go in?
Onions were,
In the big pot,
Just go ahead and put the onions in now?
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Were they supposed to go in earlier?
Yeah, they were supposed to go when the spices were done,
Oh,
but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You can put it.
They're not sauteed. They're not sauteed. They're just put in there.
Yeah, just put in there.
what a mess my kitchen is.
It's always true with a new recipe, but if you're doing an old recipe, you can sort of clean up as you go, or I do.
Yeah.
But when you have something new, it's hard to do it because you're concentrating on the new stuff.
Don't forget you're in charge, so you have to stop recording at some time.
Yeah, well, not to, we're getting close to when we're finished here.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. All right,
Do you want
thank
me to
you.
put it with rice?
So we can add rice if we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just inside.
All right, thank you, Deepa. That was wonderful. And,
Thank you.
So I'm going to stop the recording.